Assalamu alaikum everyone. Today's video is a little bit different because today I will be sharing what essential you need to start off your baking. If you're a hobby baker or if you want to start as a profession, in the beginning what equipments or what essential you will need. So I'm not going in too much detail of everything you need, but it's just a guideline to start off your baking journey, either as a hobby baker or a profession. So here I have some of the things which I will talk about. A whisk. It's good to whisk the egg, or even some recipe you will need this hand whisk, or in a lot of recipe you guys will need electric whisk, which is essential to have it in the kitchen anyway. And spatulas. This is the normal size, like a bit big size. This is a big spatula and a small spatula. You don't really need a small spatula. This is good if you are doing a lot of cupcakes decorations or even cake decoration, and you mix a lot of different colors. So it's good to mix the icing in a bowl to have a small spatula. And big spatula is good when you need to scoop out any of the batter or some of the mixing. It will require a spatula. The other thing I would say, we might all have it in the kitchen, is measuring cups. It's essential to have measuring cups if you are starting off your baking journey. So here is a 1 cup, and then it goes down to half a cup, and then 3/4 cup and 1/4 cup. A lot of recipe you might want to use the measuring cup, but measuring cup is essential. But to do the measurements in grams or in ounces, you will need a scale, because most of the recipe, if you want to make it accurately and make the recipe perfectly, then you will need a scale. We do have kitchen scale in the kitchen, but if you don't use often the kitchen scale, then you will need to have a kitchen scale. The next thing is not essential, but I would suggest if you want to do cupcakes, or if you do cupcakes a lot, you will need an ice cream scoop. You can use a tablespoon, but ice cream scoop helps and it makes the job easier. So you just scoop it out and then just scoop it in the cupcakes mold, and it does make the job a lot easier. And the measuring spoon, we all know that we might use it in a lot of kitchen recipes, rather than not just for the cupcakes or cakes business or cake decoration. You might use it in the kitchen anyway, so it helps to measure the teaspoon, like if you need to measure baking powder or baking soda or salt or vanilla extracts and things like that. So you will need measuring spoons. The other thing is essential if you are starting a cupcake business. You will need a plastic mat. This is non-greasy. It helps with your fondant if you need to decorate the cupcakes with toppers, to do your toppers on this. And you will also need a small rolling pin. This helps with small quantity of fondant. I use these plastic bands. This gives the thickness of the fondant we want to keep. It comes in different sizes. You can easily order it from eBay or Amazon. And keeping the elastic bands on, it helps keeping the thickness of the cupcakes fondant for the cupcakes equal. So you might want to keep it on, or if you need to change it, you can easily take it off and change it. If you do quite a lot of cupcakes, you will need a turntable. This is a small size turntable. Decorate the cupcakes toppers, and if you don't want to use it, you don't really need to use it. You can just use piece of parchment paper and turn around, but this makes it a lot easier to paint the cupcakes toppers. And you will also need some cutters, different size. You can have different sizes and different shapes as well. This helps cutting the fondant. And cake smoothers. It's essential to have cake smoothers if you are starting, or if you want to start cake business, or even it's essential to have it for cupcakes. When you want to decorate the cupcakes with fondant, it helps sometimes to pick up the toppers. So yeah, cake smoothers. And palette knife. These are different size palette knife. It's for different use. Like offset palette knife is good to smooth out the cake, or even if you want to decorate the cupcakes and you want to put some icing on top of the cake and then smooth it out, it's good to have it. And even this one, or you can use a small one, or it's good to have a, if you want to use it for decorating the cupcakes. And don't forget cake nozzles. These are just the basic one I'm showing. I do have a lot of different ones, but it's essential to have some of these nozzles. It helps to make the process quick, and you can quickly decorate your cupcakes. And you will need disposable icing bags. You can get a bulk of these. You can get a lot cheaper piping bags on eBay, and it's quite good to fill in your buttercream in to decorate the cupcakes. And here I have some, you might be thinking what this is. I would say it's essential to have it if you do a lot of cupcakes, because this is just a duster which you can fill it with some corn flour to dust the fondant for cupcakes or even cakes. This is how you open it, and you fill it up with the corn flour and you close it. And if you don't want to use this, you can just use a muslin cloth and put some corn flour in it and dust it with that. But this makes it a lot easier. Or you can use just the muslin cloth method and easily just dust the surface like this. Tyler's powder. It's good to have Tyler's powder if you do a lot of cake decorations with fondant, because it helps the fondant to get a little bit hard. And make sure you don't put too much in. As you go along, you will learn how much to put in the fondant. Here is some fondant which I used earlier, and I added some Tyler's powder. It gets solid rock like, but once you start mixing it, it goes back to normal. I'll show you how it goes. So if you start mixing it, it will go back to its normal shape, like, but it will be still firm as well. You see, this has wrap in cling film properly and then keep it in Ziploc bag. It prevents drying. And just close the Ziploc. Thanks for watching. Till next time, take care. Bye.